Well, folks, the most dangerous thing I think you can say in business or in life is we've always done it this way. If you don't try new things, you don't know. You don't ever learn things. You don't ever grow. You don't get better. So that's what we're doing today. I've got a Briggs here, a 14 horsepower Briggs, and I'm gonna put it to the test against a Honda. I'm sure this is I'm sure this has been debated 5 ways from Friday. I'm 100% confident you're either gonna have guys they're all Honda or all Briggs. Myself, I am a Honda guy. I like Hondas. However, this lad has an issue. I've got a real big issue. As you can see, as we walk along this row of wood splitters, you can see that there is one thing missing. Oh, that one's got one. That one looks like a Cord King. But you can see that I've got an awful problem here. Oh, there's a V-twin. I got one of them. So you can see what I'm running into here, guys. I'm having a hell of a time with these things. And I know what you're thinking. Well, why not just be proactive and order them? Well, guys, I've been dealing with this for last year with Honda, trying to get engines, and we've put in blanket POs, we've put in bigger POs. We've been trying to get engines as much as we can, and I know there's gonna be lots of guys, well, why don't you just go and buy them from a third-party supplier or something like that? I can do that, guys. The issue being is that when I buy them, they're gone. They're going to be in the same situation as me waiting for these engines. So that's the problem that I'm running into here is I can go and I can buy these engines and scoop them up from wherever I can, but that only intermittently solves my problem. It doesn't fix the supply chain. And the one distributor that I've been dealing with, they're down in Toronto. That's the only guys I can deal with. There's nobody else I can deal with because that's the way Honda works. I have to deal with their distributor. And like I said, it was about 8 or 9 months ago we said we're going to ramp up production. And we haven't seen an increase in supply from them. We've been having, like I said, we've been having a really hard time with it. It hasn't slowed down a whole lot of the machines, but obviously every couple of weeks we run into the same problem where we need engines in and we haven't got them, which is horribly inconvenient. So I'm going to give the Briggs a good shot here. I'm going to see exactly what the differences are in them, because at the end of the day, if the machine's going to work the same, if it's going to be just as serviceable, if it's going to be just as good down the road, then I don't see there being a huge difference from one to the next. So the 4 things we're going to check are we're going to check fuel consumption. The Briggs is a 14 horse where the Honda is a 12 horse. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a difference in that. The other part of it we're going to do, we're going to check to see how loud they are, because we don't want to have a screaming engine next to our ear all the time. So we ought to make sure that they're the same decibel level. The other thing we want to make sure is whether or not it starts in the cold. I did that this morning, or when we pulled the machines, and I checked that. I've already done this. I know the results of this already. But we're going to, I pulled the engines in, they were cold. I checked one and the other. And then, what was the fourth thing? There was something else there. Fuel consumption, noise level, service. Can't forget that one. So service after sales is going to be a big one. Because if 2 or 3 years down the road, you have an issue with one of these engines, you've got to be able to get it fixed. So that being said, Briggs, if you've ever drove around your town, I'm sure you've seen a Briggs dealer on every other corner. So Briggs is obviously, the service end of it's going to be really well. The other nice thing about that too is that the Briggs comes with a 4-year commercial warranty, where the Honda has a 3-year commercial warranty. So Briggs, you have, I would think, better service and a longer warranty with it. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put this together for you. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I've got to do something here because my friends at Honda don't seem to be very helpful anyways. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm sure you're gonna have some guys say Kohler. I can't get my hands on a Kohler. I've been trying to get my hands on a Kohler for for months and months now. And again, it's a supply chain thing. Like with all these small engines, there's only a handful of there's only one or two distributors that you can that a guy like me can actually deal with in order to get the supply and the pricing that I need to make this feasible. So the guys at Kohler, they sent me a 440 EFI, and it's still down, and we're still trying to get like a key switch for it, and it's been like 4 or 5 months. I don't know whether it's because of COVID or what the deal is there, but we got to go to work, guys. At the end of the day, the wheel's still got to turn. So that's where we're at anyways. Appreciate all the feedback and support. Let me know what you think, guys. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your feedback, your opinion on it, because I'm sure everybody's got one. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. So I just pulled both these machines in from outside. The one machine has the GX 390 Honda on it that we've been running for years, and then the other one has the 14 horsepower Briggs. It's -6 Celsius right now. It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit for you American lads. And we're gonna see how they start. Is it brutally cold out? No, it's not. However, this should give us a good idea of how both these engines start in the cold, because when you go out here in the wintertime, you want to make sure that you can go and touch the key and have either one of these engines run. So we'll see how they fare out. We'll see how the Briggs does here. So here's your Honda. Hasn't run in a while. So our Honda started up pretty good, and here we'll give the old Vanguard a try here. So with the Briggs, you have the choke here, then the throttle. So -6, I would say that Briggs actually starts better than the Honda. I have tried the Briggs. There's been a couple of days out that it's been really cold outside, and I've gone out just to try it. A couple of nights it was -12, -15 overnight here about a week or two ago. So I did go out and try the Briggs, and yeah, it started fine. So in terms of that, the Briggs actually starts better than the Honda. So now we're gonna check the fuel consumption between these two engines, and you're probably thinking, well, how are you gonna measure that? How are you gonna know that? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull the fuel tank off each engine. I'm going to weigh it, and then I'm gonna run it at a certain load for a lot of time. I think I'll let them run for 15 minutes, and I'm gonna put a flow restrictor in the actual main pump line. And what that should do is it should load the engine up enough that would simulate the same amount of back pressure that you would normally see when the splitter's cycling. So that should give us a good idea. Now, I haven't done this yet. I am going to take an educated guess at this and say that the Briggs is probably going to burn about 15% more fuel. And the reason for that is because it's a 14 horsepower engine rather than a 12 horsepower engine. I'm kind of curious to see what happens here, because I really don't know. That's just an educated guess. It might be way more than that. It might be way less. They might be the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these tanks off, and we'll see where we're at with it. There, I think we got that settled out there now. Maybe I can change the kilograms here. Oh, there we go. $6.842. Why don't we call it 6.85? That should give us a good idea. 6.85. Where's that? $6.850 kilograms. And that should make the math pretty easy. That's why I think that's the way to do that, is with kilograms rather than with pounds. Then you're not going to get confused with ounces and grams. And if we do it this way, I should be able to just take the kilograms and find out the difference in them and know exactly how much is there, what exactly what the difference is quickly without having any errors. So we'll leave it at that. I'll put this back on there. Okay, so I've got my phone set to, let's see, hope you can see that, 15 minutes. So I'm going to start this up, start the timer, and then ramp up some pressure on that, and we'll see where we are. The other machine here is going to end up being the same. The biggest thing here is that the pressure is the same, because the pressure will dictate how much load is actually on the end. So we'll let that run for 15 minutes here. We got her going now. So I'll let that run for 15 minutes, and then I'll weigh that tank of fuel again, and then we'll know how much fuel it actually went through. Well, let's see what we come up with, folks. All right. .080 kilograms. After 15 minutes of run time. So that should get us pretty close anyways. Should give us an idea. Okay. Let's see what this one is. Trying to get as much pressure off this as I can. So as you can see, even a little bit of movement of my hand moves that. So I don't want to skew the results at all. I want them to be as consistent as we can. I might go with 6.675. Okay guys, so this is going to be the same deal. We're going to turn this up to 500 psi and we're going to time it for 15 minutes like we did the last one. Find my clock here. Okay, got it there. Hope my phone stays there. This should give us an idea in terms of fuel consumption on what to expect. I'm going to go ahead and put the Honda back together for the fuel tank bolts and everything back in, and I'll let you know when I find out. Okay. Well, let's see how this fares out, folks. Turn this back on. Trying my hardest to get this leveled out because every little bit of pressure you put on the tank change your reading. Let's call it 5.8 kilograms. Call it that. We'll throw this back on there and we'll figure out where we were. $6.675 is what we started with, minus 5.8, 0.875 kilograms of fuel is what we burned. So, times 0.875. Well, that's, I don't know if we get it much closer than that. The difference in the fuel burnt in those engines is almost exactly what the difference is in the horsepower. It's the Briggs burnt 12% more fuel. So I think that's pretty fair. You're getting 12-15% more horsepower, you're gonna burn 12 or 15% more fuel. So I guess that makes sense. I would say that in that respect, I myself would call them equal then. Displacement and stuff, it's a bigger engine. It's so I would think that at the end of the day that's gonna be pretty safe to say that that's as close as you're gonna call that. Maybe if we had a 12 horsepower Briggs, it might be that. But that's kind of exactly what I thought I would see with that. I thought that we'd see pretty much the exact difference in horsepower is what the fuel percentage would be with logic and reason, obviously. Yeah, so I guess the only other test we've got to do here is how loud they are. I guess that's the next one. Here, let's grab that. We'll do that right now. So what I have with me here is a decibel meter. This will tell us how loud this is going to be. I'm going to set it in the exact same spot on both machines, and then we're going to see which engine's louder, because this is going to be important too, guys. Is you don't want to have an engine that's going to be sitting there screaming in your ear all day. Like you're probably going to prefer to have the quieter one. So we'll fire this Honda up and we'll see where we're at. So our Honda is running right at 96 decibels. Let's try the Briggs here. I'm going to take that the flow control is still on there, so I'll pull it back off, and we'll see how it is here. Give me a second. Oh wait, here, let's give this a try, guys. I don't think I'll likely need that choke, but we'll try it. That is a whole decibel louder. Here, me just talking. This is how many decibels it is, just me talking. So 1 decibel isn't a whole lot. So that answers that question. So anyways, guys, I think at the end of this, there's a few things I've got to consider here. And I think I've covered them all. Like if you think I've missed something, let me know when I can come back and revisit this. If you want me to try something different or something that I may have missed in here. So I think when you actually compare these two engines, they're very, very, very close to the same. Like the noise level is the same. They're within a decibel of one another. The fuel consumption is relative to the horsepower. When you go to the Briggs, you have 14 horsepower, you have 12% more engine, you're gonna burn 12% more fuel, which is fine. As far as I'm concerned, the extra horsepower I would think would be worth it. You're gonna have the cold start, which is the Briggs seems to start better in the cold, at least in my experience. And then you have the service after the sale, and that's the big one, guys, because like you gotta be able to get these things serviced. Is there a whole lot that goes wrong with these small engines? No. Doesn't matter if you have the Honda or the Briggs. I don't think you're gonna see a big difference in that. That being said, Briggs does come with a 4-year warranty on it. It's a 4-year commercial warranty with the Briggs, where with Honda, it's 3 years. So you have an extra year when you go to the Briggs. So let me know what you think, guys. I'm pretty confident that we're going to be switching to Briggs because I've had enough supply chain issues with Honda. We've been proactive here. We've done our best with them. And like I said, if you don't try new things, if you don't go out of your way to do that, then I don't think you're ever going to learn. You're never going to grow. So I think on the 2021 Eastonmade, you're going to be seeing Briggs on them. So let me know what you think, guys. Thanks a lot.